Hi, my name's Kathy Vladicka, and I am a teacher here at Ecole McTavish High School. I am also a member of SOGI 123 and the Thrive Committee that FMPSD has. In addition to that, I am a very proud member of Pride YMM here in Fort McMurray, and I am also a member of the LGBTQ community. I identify as pansexual, and so for education purposes, since that's what I am as a teacher, what that means is that I am attracted to and fall in love with a person. So not specific by gender, but I fall in love with a person. So the phrase that is used for pansexuals is that we care about hearts, not parts. And I'm here today to talk to you about why Pride matters and why having Pride celebrations in our schools, in every school, is so important for the mental well-being, for the health of our kids, our staff, and our families. The LGBTQ community still faces harassment, and in fact, in the census data that was literally released 3 days ago, hate crimes against LGBTQ people are on the rise in Canada, and half of those crimes are actually violent crimes. LGBTQ youth face more homelessness, more mental health issues, more suicidal ideation, more isolation and loneliness than any other group of children. So having Pride, having a celebration of difference matters. As a queer person growing up, I did not see people like me, like how I felt in my school, in my family, in my friends, in my community. So most queer people grow up thinking that we are different, that we are strange, and that we are alone. And so Pride is a way of celebrating and showing the world that we are not alone. And Pride matters so much, especially to young people, because as queer people, we often are the only LGBTQ person in our family. And so we grow up with cis straight family members and have no idea that how we are, how we feel is okay and is normal. So this year, Pride was celebrated in many of our elementary schools, which has been fantastic to see. We've also seen an increase in GSAs, gay straight alliances, starting to occur in elementary schools. And this is really new, actually. It's new in the province, it's definitely new in Fort McMurray. And a lot of teachers are hesitant, they're concerned, they're worried about how to do this well. They know it's important for students, but how do we do this in a way that is inclusive of everyone and includes the families in our schools? Why this is important in elementary schools is this is when gender identity has already started forming, much actually earlier than elementary school. Most children have their gender identity formed by the age of 5 or 6. So they're in elementary school, perhaps feeling that they already don't fit, that they know that there's something about them that doesn't match the other kids that are around them. So they might know that while they're in the body of a boy or a girl, that they actually feel like the opposite. So they're transgender. Or they might feel that neither of those labels fit for them. So they're what is referred to as non-binary. If they're Indigenous, we often refer to that as two-spirited. They have both the spirit of a boy and a girl inside them, which is a really, really beautiful thing. And so Pride matters in elementary schools. It doesn't have to be about sexual orientation, although some kids already in older elementary have an idea of who they like, who they have a crush on. But it's about their identities. It's also about their families. Kids in FMPSD are growing up in families that have 2 moms or 2 dads, or who have transgender parents or gender nonconforming parents. So Pride is not something that should just be celebrated in junior high and high school. It doesn't have to be about sexual orientation, it's about identity. So I started working for Fort McMurray Public Schools in January of 2008. And for the first, I would say at least 7 years that I worked here, I did not come out to a soul in the school that I worked at, which is at that time Westwood. And then when I transferred here to McTavish, nobody knew that that was part of my identity. And it took time to feel comfortable and safe to be who I was and to let other people know who I was. So I know that's an issue for many staff who identify as LGBTQ2S+ in Fort McMurray Public, that they are unsure if it is okay to come out. Because they're not sure if the parents, if they mention their partner to their students, and that gets back to parents, will that be okay? Will they have the support of their admin? Will they have the support of senior admin? Will they have the support of the board? And it's a fear that queer teachers still have to this day, is whether we will be accepted or rejected. And it mirrors the fear that all queer people have. I came out for the first time at the age of 21, but I come out constantly. It is not something that we get to do once. Every new person that I meet, every new student that enters my room, it's a question of, can I be who I am? Can I show who I am? Can I talk about my partner? Or is that going to cause them to not respect me, to not see me as their teacher in the same way that they saw me before? Or will a parent not want their student in my class? When our school launched the teacher websites a few years ago, and we were asked to submit pictures and little bios about ourselves, including our families, not just our work histories. And I felt that I had to ask my vice principal, is it okay that my photo is me and my female partner? Is that okay to put up on the school's website? My answer that I received was, of course, yes, but I still felt that I had to ask. Whereas straight teachers here, that wasn't even a consideration. Of course you can submit a photo of you and your husband or you and your wife. And for me, as a queer person, it was still a question. And a quote that I saw recently explains to me completely why pride matters, especially why pride matters to kids. And that quote was, as long as there are kids who still would rather die than come out, pride matters.